r/askreddit. What's something your employer did that instantly killed employee morale?
Banned smartphones in the break room to force us to talk to one another and build camaraderie. Ends up we didn't like each other that much.
How is that allowed? It's your break. They can't force you to do anything on your break, can they?
Legally, no, but they can make it a cell phone-free area.
No raises or bonuses this year due to company performance, but I will make it up to you by taking the whole company to the lake for a trip on my new 30th boat.
In a very short span of time, they changed everyone's 401k plan, for worse, and then implemented an office-wide cleanliness policy. No eating at your desk. Only 3 personal items on your desk. Everything labeled. No items other than your keyboard, mouse, and monitors on your desk at the end of the day. Talk about pissed off. You could feel the gloom when you walked in. Everyone's shitter broke at once.
Everything labeled. I should never be entrusted with a label maker. I will label all the things.
If it wasn't an incredible waste of resources, I would suggest labeling each individual sheet of paper as paper.
To cut costs, they started a policy that only certain departments had internet access. It basically started a class system that bred resentment across departments and caused an exodus from the non-internet teams.
The internet. I have heard tales told of this precious and rare commodity, but if you ask me, they're just legends made up to pass the time and fill the children with awe and wonder.
I hear tell they got some out California way.
In a company of 6 people, owner said in a meeting with everyone that his 2 sales guys are irreplaceable and that the rest of us are just paper pushers.
He now runs a company of 3 people.
Sales guys put maybe 20 minutes into one deal, then operations puts days into logistics, payment, paperwork, claims, etc. We also just purchased an office building for $1 millions, so if we leave and sales can't sell, this place will most definitely end up deep in bankruptcy. I'd hate to see that happen, but it's not the first time we've been informed that we're scum and just suck up company money while the sales guys are the ones making the profits.
We were once in the middle of a very stressful period of work, and everyone was feeling it. However, one afternoon, an offhand comment turned into a conversation that we all got involved with and led to a few laughs. My manager, returning from a meeting, piped up, "We've finished tomorrow's work, have we? What's all this about? Insert subject matter. Insert subject matter." Entire team instantly deflated. Unnecessary. Every employee needs time to blow off a little steam.
Removed COLA raises each year for all employees and implemented a raise when promoted or take on more responsibility model. However, promotions are very rare and raises are never approved. So everyone is losing money to inflation each year, and they tried to sell it as a big win for the employees. We aren't stupid people.
Casually said the best employee was X, and everyone, including X, knew that X was among those who did the least amount of work.
X probably made the least mistakes. You can't do things wrong if you do nothing.
Fired the girl who was in her 3rd trimester of pregnancy 3 days before her maternity leave was to start.
I don't think that's even legal.
It's not. AutoZone did this to a woman a few years ago, and she sued and settled for like $18 million if memory serves. It was part of the reason they didn't give us a raise that year because of unforeseen labor costs, according to the memo. Held a super positive pep rally style company-wide meeting about how they were going to start combining our sick days with our vacation days and now just call them 2. This was presented to us as a great thing since we could all now use our days fully as vacation days if we wanted to. Once the system was implemented, everyone realized that instead of getting 10 vacation days and 10 sick days per year, we now all had 15 TTO days. Everyone was pissed. Welcome to the new norm. My wife's company does this, and it's effing awful.
My company does this and I hate it. Trying to save up for my honeymoon, but I've been sick just twice, and since they won't let me take a non-paid day, I now don't have enough to.
Head of department realized that we weren't about to meet our targets for the financial year. Completely banned annual leave for 3 months. Forced anyone who didn't fill in their timesheet on time to attend disciplinary meeting, despite problems with the system meaning that some didn't get filled in, and generally had lower management terrified, causing a massive blame culture and several people to be signed off with mental health issues. In the end, the employee survey which went to his bosses was hilariously bad, and he's now somewhere else making some other people's lives a misery. The best part was when his replacement came in and fired his right-hand man who was also a dick.
All companies need employee surveys for this reason. Even if corporate doesn't read it, it's great fun to watch managers kiss butt for a week, knowing their review is approaching.
My company had an anonymous employee survey this past year, and when the results, which reflected negatively on the GM/manager, were revealed, everyone had to sit through a 4-hour meeting where, line by line, our GM asked, why do 50% of you feel this way, or 60% of you feel this way, or 60% of you not like this? No one really spoke up. It was supposed to be anonymous. So we just got told how, if we felt that way, this is why our feelings were wrong. By the end of the 4 hours, most of us were like, was that supposed to deter us from rating negatively next year? So we don't have to sit through a 4-hour meeting about how we're not right in feeling the way we did.
They banned phones, electronics, puzzles, books, etc. from being used at your desk. I work at a call center. We were expected to just sit and wait for the next call to come in distraction. Free even if it was a super slow day.
They banned phones at my work, contact center, and any device with a camera as I work in government with public info. I now set up a Nintendo Switch and rock Mario Kart or Zelda between calls as there is no camera, no way to connect to a browser, and no voice recording. I'd call it a bit of malicious compliance, in a way.
Told a bunch of people they were going to be promoted to get us to do extra work. No one got promoted. I basically did her job for a month. Me and 3 of my coworkers quit, and she got fired a few months later.
My job has been doing that to people, including me. They pass people over for promotions, then say, but if you do all this extra stuff, it'll look good for the next one. Meanwhile, managers promote their friends, basically.
Put up a poster that said, complaining is like vomiting. You feel better, but everyone around you feels sick. The morale was already bad, but it was just a shitty way to take a hit at upset employees rather than do anything positive.
Complaining is like vomiting. Something caused it to happen, and it's best to figure out why and change it so it doesn't happen again.
Started firing people by lining 2 up at a time and seeing which one they prefer to keep on. Didn't matter if you were there for 20 years or 2. Also hiring management from outside and not promoting, within which means the new managers have no knowledge of anything that company does in terms of ethics, procedures, or employee status. It has turned this clique-type environment into every person for themselves. Very toxic.
Thanos, the day manager.
They got rid of their night cleaning crew the week after I started, and we had to learn how to clean the whole department on our own before close. I work in a meat department, so this meant taking apart and cleaning 2 meat grinders and a bandsaw that were covered with meat goop. Almost the whole department quit because of this, but I stuck around and got the hang of it. After about 3 months, though, they hired the cleaning crew back. Now closing is a breeze.
Fuck, man. I worked in a butcher shop in college, and cleaning those meat grinders is no joke. The grinder itself is a 2-foot-long corkscrew that has to weigh 20 fivels. Oh, and it's razor-sharp and covered in soapy water and beef tallow.
Oh man, same here. I was the cleaning boy after school for the local butchers. First day showing me how to clean the machines, they told stories of how everyone has been injured in the past to teach you what to look out for, but don't stress one. We'll get you eventually. Shudder.
I once had a retail manager who sent out a memo that we worked so hard and did such a great job this month that she gets a bonus. That went over like a lead balloon.
Comment repost. I went through this same kind of bullshit. I, along with 9 other coworkers, did a Kaizen project where we cut customer complaints from over 100/month to single digits due to streamlining our process. The plant manager sent out a company-wide email essentially taking.
At an airplane factory, managers started rationing gloves, hairnets, masks, and trash bags at the same time we had to go on a 12x6 work week, like that was going to make up for the increase in labor.
I used to work in healthcare and, as a student, in different production plants where you needed gloves because everything was hot or dirty or because everything had to be very clean. When I started a new job in any of these fields, I swear you could get a good estimate of productivity and job satisfaction as soon as you saw how the glove situation was handled. If you cut costs by going cheap on that kind of protective gear, you don't care for your employees, and they know that.
The glove situation. I worked at a new car dealership for a few years as a technician. The first year and a half I was there, we were allowed 1 box of gloves per month. Penny pinching, number fudging manager was let go. Manager that had actually turned wrenches in the past gets hired and immediately tells us to get gloves when we need them because he wants 0 complaints about interiors getting dirty while in the shop. Of course, he didn't last, and we got a manager that said to me, pack your crap and get the F out. Not fired apparently, but I was already 1 foot out the door. We went from a shop with no tech turnover to all but 3 people leaving.